first and all, we all know, anybody who knows what is the meaning of this word? Khalis. In Persian language, Khalis means pure. Khalis means pure. So the reason for choosing this name is they wanted a land purely for the Sikh population. This was the call. See, you know when the country got divided in 1947 into India and Pakistan, the birth of Pakistan was purely on the religious lines, right? Now, the problem was that was places where Muslim majority was there. So that's how those places decided to be part of Pakistan, right? Now, but the problem came to this particular land, what we call Punjab. See, before partition, Punjab was a huge state, very big, what you call province. When the India got divided, technically Punjab got divided into two. The western Punjab went to Pakistan and the east Punjab came to India, like West and East Germany. So the western Punjab went to Pakistan and the eastern Punjab came to India. The problem was, even in the entire Punjab, Sikhs were not in majority. So the call for a separate land on the premises of religion was purely ruled out at the initial stages because there was no majority as such. So what happened is, the problem is the seeds of a separate land for the Sikhs, somewhere the reasons are inward looking and outward looking also. Inward looking is because in some discourses during the independence movement talks, meetings and committee formulations, something related to Hindu Brahmanical majoritarianism was coming out in those discussions. So somewhere this sect of population were feeling that maybe over a period of time we will also be forced to go back to Hinduism. Maybe the question mark was big. Now, but the people who were calling for this, the fear was not in the masses. The masses never had this fear, but the political echelons who wanted to capture some power somewhere had this feeling that agar separate Khalistan ban jayega, so I can become a prime minister, I can become a president and all, right? And what these people said that we will create Khalistan as a theocratic state. What do you understand by the word theocratic? Theocracy, an area or rule based on the teachings of a particular religion. So they wanted to make the so-called Khalistan a theocratic what you call geographical area that will be ruled on the premises of the teachings of Sikhism, right? So this is how the genesis started. But over a period of time things got controlled. One thing you need to understand, in the history of Khalistan movement since beginning till now, the movement never got the support of masses. In the sense, maximum percentage of the masses never supported it. It was only some sectional people, because of some vested interest, they supported the cause of Khalistan, right? Otherwise, there was no overall mass support for Khalistan as such. So it means it was only restricted to a fragmented section of the Sikh community. Very important. Restricted to fragmented section of a Sikh community, this Khalistan movement. Now, what happened over a period of time, the political dimension took the center stage. Try to understand this. This is the first factor. When I talk about Khalistan, whenever I or anybody talks about Khalistan, they have to talk about purely from 2 to 3 perspectives. One is political perspective, the second is social perspective, and the third is religious perspective. We will talk about all these 3 perspectives: the political perspective, the social perspective and the religious perspective. Now try to understand the state of the what you call the political discourse of Punjab state. Like in Telangana you have a majority party TRS, same in Punjab there was a party called Akali Dal. There is a party, not was, Akali Dal, very prominent party in the Punjab politics, Akali Dal, right? Now, what happened is, this Akali Dal was in some ways unbeaten for long period of time, and Congress was trying, because Congress was in the center, right? With Indira Gandhi coming to the central sphere of the activities in the political agenda, she wanted to gain inroads into Punjab politics also. Basically, she wanted to take Congress to Punjab. She wanted Congress to win in Punjab, right? Now, in the political discourse, what Congress thought, let me create somebody who will ask for so many things from Akali Dal. As a political party, it can never satisfy the hunger. So that is when three prominent people from the Sikh community, Gyani Zail Singh, one prominent person called Gyani Zail Singh, who happened to be the president at that time, President of India. What he did, he along with Sanjay Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi, they masterminded one plan. What was this plan? To create a, not Sanjay Gandhi, not Singh, Sanjay Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi, they masterminded one plan. What was this plan? This plan was basically to create a monster from amongst the Sikh community who will get all the political blessings, who will get all the arms and ammunition required to carry out a insurrection kind of a thing, a revolutionary movement within a confined area, and who will put up demands in front of Akali Dal that Akali Dal will not be able to fulfill those demands, right? So this Congress started from 1970s and they identified one person by name Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale. Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale. So this fellow was identified to be the puppet of the central government to create foment trouble in the Punjab state. So this was the agenda given to him. You have to create demands. The demands could be economic demands के पूरा इंदिरा गांधी का कैनाल जो बनाया है and the water is going to Haryana, that should be stopped. पंजाब में से जो चंडीगढ़ बाहर किया, the Chandigarh has to be given back to Punjab. So many places, districts of Punjab were given to Haryana, those districts should be merged back with Punjab. All these demands he created. But over a period of time, you have to understand that Akali Dal could not satisfy these demands because within the political spectrum it is difficult to satisfy those demands, right? Now, suddenly a political vacuum started getting created, but it so unluckily happened that in the national front, the emergency period, popularity of Indira Gandhi and Congress started diminishing. So when that started, Congress for some period of time completely neglected the what you call the Punjab front completely. It could not concentrate for some reasons. In this backdrop, what happened? When you have created a monster, given him a target to achieve, he started becoming frustrated. And in this frustration, he started going closer to Akali Dal. The moment when Congress came back to Punjab, suddenly she saw the monster that I have created or the person whom I have created, this person went and sat in the laps of Akali Dal. But I created him for a completely different purpose so that that political vacuum could be created, right? Now, in this backdrop by 1980s, early 1980s like 83, 84, this fellow became out of control of Gyani Zail Singh also. See, it is said that he was one person who had direct communication channel with Indira Gandhi also and Zail Singh also. See, if it is like say, I have the Prime Minister Modi's personal contact number, will I not flaunt in front of everybody? Do you want to speak to Modi? Call लगाऊंगा और camera mic में सुनाऊंगा तुम सबको. What is the intention? To showcase myself, to elevate my position in the society, right? Now, over a period of time, this fellow's position in the society got elevated because of his direct access to Indira Gandhi and Zail Singh. He used that to garner maximum political support. But in this time gap, Akali Dal played its card. What it did, instead of having some animosity with him, they took him on board. बोला तुम आ जाओ, I'll give you a member of parliament seat, something like that they offered, and this fellow joined the Akali Dal. Now, the target was for in front of Indira Gandhi 83, 84, this person has to be removed, eliminated. Now, because you created a monster, you gave arms and ammunition and everything, this monster became very important to be removed from the political space. Because I told you, garnered lot of political mileage, lot of supporters started, joining his bandwagon. It was said that even if he is going to Gurdwara to offer his prayers as a common citizen, thousands of people will go with him to Gurdwara. So such kind of following this person started getting it, and Akali Dal played a mastermind card and they tried to take him on board. Now Indira Gandhi felt and the entire Congress leadership felt, this is now we cannot do anything, we need to remove this guy. So that is when the plan to remove this guy was made. Finally in the Operation Blue Star, we know that 1984 Operation Blue Star was carried out and this fellow was eliminated, right. In the Operation Blue Star, Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale was eliminated. This story we all know. Now, in the period from 1984-85 till 1995, the Akali Dal hold got weakened. The Akali Dal hold got weakened. See, I am only trying to explain you the political dimensions now. I will come to social and religious also. In this period, because of when I took a name of, if you remember, KPS Gill, who was made the in charge after the Operation Blue Star to control the Khalistani movement in the insurrection in the Punjab area, right. So KPS Gill very beautifully he executed all the command orders from the Indira Gandhi's cabinet and he executed everything properly. And in 10 years time frame, he controlled the situation more or less perfectly. And if you are aware, this was the time period when the Armed Forces Special Powers Act was also in vogue in Punjab. The moment APPSC is in vogue, the government gets all the powers to use force also to control a particular situation, right. Now, because of the increasing atrocities or the use of force by the government on the community of Sikhs, because Akali Dal could not do anything about it. See, Akali Dal, understand one word in Punjab politics, it is known as Panthik voters. Try to understand this word. Panthik voters. Panthik voters is the voters who belong to the community of Sikhism, who strongly believe in the tenets of Sikhism. So, Akali Dal base is Panthik voters, right. What Akali Dal, the Panthik voters said, so much of atrocities, force is being used on Sikh community, youth especially, and you are watching it helplessly. So, the position of this what you call party got weakened in this time period, though they were in power, but still it got weakened. Now, in this time, one particular person comes to power in the central stage called Prakash Singh Badal, Akali Dal, towering personality, Prakash Singh Badal, towering personality in the Punjab politics, like you have NTR here, no, something like that in the Punjab politics, right. Now, Prakash Singh Badal in 1995, by 1995 the situation came under control. The situation of Khalistan insurgency came under control. In 1995, he called for a big gathering. This big gathering was called at a place called Moga. It's a place in Punjab called Moga, and one Moga convention was what you call signed. And as part of this Moga convention, they spoke about revival of the Sikhism and all these things were talked about, right. So, over a period of time, by 1995, 96, 97, the prominence of Akali Dal again came back to power. Like the prominence of Akali Dal within the Sikh community again came back to power. So, things were going on perfectly alright. Things were going on perfectly alright. But gradually, Akali Dal started committing certain political mistakes. What Akali Dal did was, I told you, Akali Dal is a party which is generally the base for who is Panthik voters, who basically believed in the Sikh, what you call tenets, who belong to the community of Sikhism. Over a period of time, to keep, at that time Jan Sangh was there, your Bharatiya Janata Party now, Jan Sangh earlier. This Jan Sangh, because I told you in Punjab, there is a large chunk of Hindu population also. There is a large chunk of Hindu population also. What Jan Sangh or the now BJP were doing is, they were trying to gather or capture the Hindu votes of the Punjab constituency, right. So, Akali Dal realized, if I only concentrate on them, a major chunk of my Hindu votes would be missing. So, Akali Dal started looking at the Hindu votes also, and the best way of capturing the Hindu votes is give a ticket to a Hindu leader. So, over a period of time, Akali Dal committed these mistakes of started giving tickets of the Akali Dal party to Hindu people also. Just see how religion is playing an important role in the political spectrum, just understand. Now, when they started giving the tickets to the Hindu what you call people, the Panthik people started getting angry. Panthik people started getting angry. When the Panthik people started getting angry, then Akali Dal said, I need to pacify my Panthik voters. What it did, the main agenda, what is the main agenda? To keep them out, mostly Congress, because Janasangh and Janasangh at that time, it was a novices party, in the sense it was trying to only garner some what you call roots in the Punjab politics. So they were not bothered much about Janasangh, but they were definitely bothered about Congress. So now the idea was to keep the Congress away. Now what Akali Dal did was, instead of what you call fighting alone battles, Akali Dal said, chalo let's join hands. Akali Dal said, let's join hand, and both them joined hands, the Janasangh and Akali Dal. But a problem occurred here. The moment it happened, these people started talking about their Hindutva ideologies. So this is how over a period of time from 1995 to 2015, Akali Dal continued to commit these kind of mistakes. Akali Dal continued, and one more mistake, not only Hindu, over a period of time the municipality elections and all, Akali Dal started giving tickets also to Christians. So polarization within the party and within the followers happened. They said, already we are fighting with you, why are you bringing Janasangh together? Because you are our party, you are supposed to fight for the cause of Sikhism and the Panthik voters. First you done this mistake, second you did this mistake, now you are doing this third mistake. In this backdrop, in 2015, one incident happens in Punjab, very important, that is the time when I was also there, called Bargari incident, very important, Bargari incident. Try to understand the religious angle to political dimension. In the Bargari incident, in front of one Gurdwara, some pages of Holy Granth, some pages of the Holy Granth were found half burnt. The pages of some what you call Holy Granth were found half burnt in front of a Gurdwara. Believe me, this is more than enough to create uncontrollable chaos in the society, because in Sikhism Holy Granth is considered to be the living Guru. So it is like burning a living Guru of a particular sect of people who belong to that particular sect. There was a lot of uproar. There was lot of uproar, and the Panthik voters wanted Akali Dal to take immediate action against the perpetrators of this crime, But for some reasons, Akali Dal failed. It did not do anything. Though it created rhetoric, ke kal pagad lenge, parsoon pagad lenge, but on ground no action was taken. It means gradually the Panthik voters losing trust on the party that they supported for 5 to 6 decades, not years. Suddenly these people felt Akali Dal is not working for the agenda of Sikhism, it has got its own agenda. That is the reason why in 2017 elections in Punjab, Amrinder Singh comes into picture, and Captain Amrinder Singh is from the only manifesto of the election agenda of Congress in 2017 was, we will catch the perpetrators of the Bargari incident. Faridkot ke paas there is a place called Bargari. So the only agenda of Congress was, just imagine, only on one point Congress won the elections, Captain Amrinder Singh came to power. Now what was the promise? To catch the perpetrators. Nothing happened. Though they won the elections on that premise, nothing happened. Now again the Panthik voters are restless. You said you will catch them, but you did not catch them. And the frustration in the people was increasing. And they understood 2022 we have to again go to the elections 5 साल में, अरे कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा, what to do. Suddenly they realized this fellow is not working. See, Captain Amrinder Singh, if you know him personally, he is not a person who will interact with everybody, like generally he is a leader of the masses. He was not one of those. He was mostly into boozing and generally into his room and all. Mostly he used to be doing that only, right? Not very prominent personality in this, other than some wrong dimensions to his personality. Now, the frustration in the people was increasing. Congress realized, I need to do some corrections in the what you call the persons who are holding power. Amrinder Singh was removed and Channi is made the Chief Ministers of Punjab in 2020-2021. So, this fellow is from the Sikh Dalit community, large chunk of population. So, Congress felt, shayad if I do these corrections, maybe some satisfaction will come in the Panthik voters whose majority population were also from the same Dalit community. Now problem is, even this guy could not do anything. In this backdrop, when the elections are held in 2022, one fellow took the advantage of all this chaos. Akali Dal chaos, followed by Congress chaos. In the Congress, Captain Amrinder Singh chaos, and then Channi chaos. Once this happened, one fellow who was sitting outside and watching, he understood, Bhaiya, there is a big vacuum here. I have to capture that vacuum, and the name of that person was Aam Aadmi Party. And he finally won the elections. Again, on the same premise, ke Bargari ke perpetrators would be punished. Now the person they choose is Bhagwan Singh Maan. The person they chose is Bhagwan Singh Maan. Again, most of the time in Bombay, Delhi, Canada, Vancouver and all, not in the state. So whatever promises he made, he also did not fulfill those promises. Now one incident happens on the 10th of November 2022. One incident happens on the 10th of November 2022. A gangster by name Goldie Brar in a daylight, he kills him, who is known to be one of the perpetrators of Bargari incident. Janta is happy because justice prevailed, but the problem is this justice was brought down by a not from any of the political. This is how the mindset of the masses will overplay and underplay. Try to understand. One more political vacuum, try to understand the macro picture now. Understand the political vacuum or the political cause, macro picture. Very, very important. See, generally ever since independence, it was found that at any given point of time, a Sikh person will be there in some of the office of importance politically. It has always been the tradition that one Sikh person would be holding a prominent post, whether constitutional, political, institutional, it could be anything, maybe army chief, maybe the chief of intelligence, the paramilitary forces, or the what you call any what you call vice president, president, any post a particular Sikh person was holding. For the last 8 to 10 years, ever since 2014, Manmohan Singh relinquished his appointment as the Prime Minister, ever since then, no Sikh person is holding any prominent position. So, there is a feeling of very, very bad, a feeling of neglect, neither in the armed forces, neither any constitutional appointment, neither either institutional head, nor prime minister, nor president, no important position given to any of the Sikh personnel. Very recently, 2019, if I remember correctly, no sorry, 2021, संगरूर में एक इलेक्शन होता है, सिमरनजीत सिंह मान. Elections happen in Sangrur for an MP position. A person by name Simranjit Singh Maan stands in the election, and he comes out with thumping majority victorious, because it only showcased the frustration of the Sikh community to send their person to the thumping majority के साथ उसको जिता दिया. ठीक है, try to understand how the political vacuum at the micro and macro level is showing out the frustration of the people. And one more factor is the next factor, try to understand, it is a combination of socio-religious factor. Now, I told you it will take half an hour, be little more patient, you will understand everything about Khalisthan. Okay? Now what happens, I told you Akali Dal is in power. When it comes to managing the affairs of Gurudwara all across the country, there is one entity called Shiromani Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee, SGPC, Shiromani Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee. So this particular entity controls the entire administrative functioning of the Gurudwaras all over the country. Shiromani Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee, right? And in the Amritsar Golden Temple, there is a place called Akal Takht. There is a place called Akal Takht in the premises, parisar of the Golden Temple. And this Akal Takht is known to be the temporal seat of Sikhism. Temporal seat, a place, it is known to be the temporal seat of Sikhism, where all the instructions related to Sikhism are sent across from there. All the instructions, how the prayers have to be offered, everything, all the directions will come from this particular place called Akal Takht. And the Akal Takht was under the control of Shiromani Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee, and the Shiromani Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee was under the control of Akali Dal. So in a way, the whatever religious instructions the Akal Takht was sending out, it had a stamp of Akali Dal. It had a stamp of Akali Dal. Now what happened? Over a period of time, Haryana played one game, a neighboring state. It said that why he should what you call control the entire what you call Gurudwaras of the country. I will have, my state will have its own committee. So it raised one committee named Haryana Sikh Gurudwaras Management Committee. Now it plays one master stroke here. Try to understand the game plan. Haryana Sikh Gurudwara Management Committee. It sets up one committee. It said that I will not follow the orders of this. My institution will do this. और इसका chairperson बनाया, name not important, a person who belonged to one dera. Now understand this word dera. Understand this word dera. In Sikhism, there are some what you call institutions where a religious leader will have some followings. Like Jarnail Singh Bhindranwala also had a dera. Like if you have heard about this guy, Baba Ram Rahim, Dera Sacha Sauda. If you have heard about his name, Baba Ram Rahim, Dera Sacha Sauda. So these people, this person who was appointed as the chairperson of this committee was from Dera, who showcased himself as a godman. All these Dera people showcase themselves as living gurus. So some sections, lower sections especially of Sikhism, they go to these Deras. If you have seen, there is one Dera in Lakdi Ka Pool also. I am forgetting the name. When you remember when Baba Ram Rahim was arrested, there was so much of chaos. Dera Sacha Soda Ram Rahim. He had charges of corruption, rape, murder, everything. So he is in jail. Time and again, you have to understand, this person showcased himself as Godman. In Sikhism, the 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh, he said that after me there will not be any living Guru, no human will be a Guru, and the Guru Granth Sahib will become the Guru. Guru Granth Sahib will only be the Guru, and there will not be any individual who can claim that he is the Guru. So there was a very important slok, ठीक है, आज्ञा भई अकाल की तभी चलायो पंथ सब सिखन को हुक्म है गुरु मानियो ग्रंथ. He says that it is the order of akal. Akal is something which is beyond time. Kal is time, akal is beyond time. So आज्ञा भई अकाल की, so it means there is an instruction from the Almighty that henceforth there will not be any living Guru, only Guru Granth Sahib will be the Guru, right? Very clear. But now what these people are doing, they are showcasing themselves as the Godman. And when in Haryana, this chairperson was, a Godman was made the chairperson, in Haryana also Sikh community was there. This Sikh community said, how can you make a person as the chairperson of Gurdwaras knowing that he is showcasing himself as a Godman? So what is the intent here? To create tension, to create tension, so that out of the tension some political mileage can be earned. So like this, certain socio-religious dimensions also started opening up. Now I will take you a little outside Punjab. Try to understand how then we will connect all the dots. You will understand that Khalisthan movement is not only a movement of a separate land, it is a religious movement, it is a political movement, it has got so many other underpinnings also. One important entity, I have forgotten its name, yeah, called in 2021, try to understand, in 2021, if you guys followed the news, Rajiv Gandhi killers were released. Yes or no? Rajiv Gandhi killers were released. Rajiv Gandhi killers were released by the government. Now there was a entity by name Qaumi Insaf Morcha, very important, Qaumi Insaf Morcha. What this Qaumi Insaf Morcha said that if you can release the Rajiv Gandhi convicts who killed the ex-Prime Minister, why can't you release the Khalistan revolutionaries who were arrested from this time frame to this time frame? We want them to be released. And they ran a movement called Bandhi movement, Bandhi, Bandhi movement. Bandhi is somebody who is kept captive, is called a Bandhi movement. So they ran a movement called Bandhi movement, and this movement asked for releasing the people who were so called Khalistani revolutionaries from the various jails of India. And this is also going on side by side, this is also going side by side. Now you have to understand this name which has come, no? This name which has come, Amrit Pal Singh. He is the guy who is the, now the big question comes up is, with the arrival of Amrit Pal Singh on the central picture, Amrit Pal Singh on the central picture, two dimensions. One, will it uprise the cause of Khalistani movement? And the answer depends in you might be saying, ये पिछले आधे घंटे से पंजाब की बात कर रहा है, सडनली दीवार पे यूएस, यूके, जर्मनी और कनाडा लिख रहा है. He is out of his mind. No, I am not. Understand, the roots of Khalistan are so widespread across the globe that they wanted the Khalistan movement to be used in future as a fault line in India. Understand, we know that Punjab is a victim of drugs. Now tell me, why drugs came to India in the first place? when in 1979 when the Soviet invaded Afghanistan, this fellow gave a task to CIA, the intelligence agency of America. बोला एक काम करो, पाकिस्तान के पास जो अफगानिस्तान है वहाँ पे there is a lot of culture of opium and heroin cultivation. You remember the Golden Crescent? Iran, Afghanistan and Pakistan. These people grow opium and heroin in large quantities. You do one thing, you take ISI of Pakistan on board and tell these opium growers to cultivate opium for you. I will give you the money, CIA will give money to ISI. ISI is only supposed to do one thing, instill the drug culture in the Soviet army. This is indirectly trying to kill an army. This is how CIA joining hands with ISI from 1979 till 1988 gave drugs to the Soviet soldiers so that their war fighting capacity is broken. That is how within a span of 8 to 9 months the entire Afghanistan campaign is won by the US, because they gave drugs to the Soviet people. The moment the purpose is resolved, then he told ISI, now what? Now ISI said, I want to do something in Kashmir. So CIA said, okay, you divert this drug from the Soviet army to Kashmir. But ISI said there is a problem. ISI said there is a big problem. Then CIA asked, what is the big problem? He said Kashmiri population is Muslim population, and in Muslim Islam drug is prohibited. I cannot give drug to the Muslims, it will backfire. Then he said find for another place. That is when they found under an operation called K2. Pakistan joined hands with CIA, ISI and cultivated the drug culture in Punjab. K2 is Khalisthan, Kashmir. The name of the operation is Khalisthan, Kashmir. That is how large quantity of drugs, what we call, started getting dumping. What is the time frame? 88. If you remember the Khalistan problem 84-85 till 1995, right? So this was the time frame early 90s. Because of the strong action by the government, security forces, paramilitary forces and the police forces on the youth of Punjab, especially the Sikh youth of Punjab, they were going through post-traumatic stress disorder. In this time, these drugs became their saviors to come out of these stress disorders. So very beautifully ISI along with Pakistan and CIA made Punjab a drug state, completely a drug state. Now how is US linked now? If you remember, Modi went to US in Howdy Modi, Trump was the president. Trump is a Republican, right? And that was the time when the Democrats wave started in US, that next time this fellow will not be elected. Democrat waves was going on. Suddenly Modi made a statement there, ab ki baar Trump sarkar. He made a statement, ab ki baar Trump sarkar. The Democrats were very angry. They said, you came, we gave you visa, that is the most important mistake that we have committed. We should not have given you visa. Who asked you to make this statement that ab ki baar Trump sarkar? So Democrats, they activated CIA and told reinitiate Khalistan in India. If you remember, there is a institution or a organization called Sikh for Justice. Name not important. This is the organization that is funded by CIA in America. They called their leader, bola okay, start this problem again. Money was pumped in, again started. If you remember, referendum 2020 was declared in 2019. Luckily, COVID came. The idea was in June 2020 in the state of Punjab we will go for a referendum. Do you want Khalisthan or not? A very mega event. COVID came as a blessing in disguise. That is how this did not happen. And India also understood its mistake, that we should not open our mouth when we are not asked for. So that is when finally this was done away with, right? So try to understand how US is involved. Coming back to UK, you know that with UK, see, try to understand how the geopolitics is also playing an important role in a problem in your country. UK, you all know that we are signing and it is getting delayed. Year after year it is getting delayed. Now when it is getting delayed, the only way UK felt, I can pressurize India to sign the free trade agreement in terms and conditions that are favorable to me. The only fault line I have with me with respect to India is again Khalisthan movement, because in Britain, as you know, there is a big chunk of Sikh diaspora, and that is the reason why you will see that even in Britain the tentacles of Khalisthan can be seen. So the moment they want to pressurize India to sign a free trade agreement in terms and conditions most favorable to them, they will ignite this what we call fire of Khalistan movement in India. This is basically trying to create a geopolitical pressure on India. Now come to a country called Germany. You may say, sir, ये कहाँ से आ गया बीच में? हिटलर तो मर गया, जर्मनी कहाँ से आ गया बीच में? Now understand, in the absence of Britain in the European Union, Germany is now emerging as the leader of European Union. And Germany does not want India to go closer to UK or France. Already France you went, big mega deal you have signed, the Rafale deal you have signed, where you have purchased 126 Rafale fighter aircrafts from France. Germany is not happy with it. And you know that even with Germany, our free trade agreement is still pending. So Germany wants to again use Khalistan as an issue in forcing India for two things. One, to sign the free trade agreement in terms and conditions favorable to Germany, and to ensure that India does not go closer to UK and France closely. This is what you need to understand. Coming to the last country and the last topic is Canada. Again, Canada has a large Sikh what we call population diaspora, and the Sikh for Justice which is there in US, the Sikh for Justice which is there in US is also supporting the Sikh diaspora there, who are also talking about a separate Khalistan there. But it is not the only thing in Canada. In Canada, if you remember, this movie came, no? Singh is King, Ajay Devgan. Singh is King, है ना? Ajay Devgan and Katrina Kaif की एक movie आई थी where he is a gangster. Ajay Devgan, हाँ? Sorry, Akshay Kumar. Sorry, Akshay Kumar. वो movie Singh is King, right? Now in this movie, Akshay Kumar is shown as a gang leader, and there is always a fight between two gang leaders. There are two gangs, Sikh gangs in Canada. One is Grewal gang and one is Dhariwal gang. Grewal gang and the second is the Dhariwal gang. Now understand here, they want to develop the drug culture, the gun culture and the sex culture in Punjab. So basically their agenda is glorification of this culture in Punjab. The reason why they want to glorify this culture in Punjab is these people getting money from CIA and these people using these two entities for fomenting this. Where do you think the money is coming from? Honey Singh, Basha and all songs, that quality, that standard marketing. Marketing cost goes into multiples of crores. Where the money is coming from? It is coming from channels like this where people are funding. That is how you have seen the Punjab folk music was known to be the purest of the music, where the tenets of Sikhism, the socio-cultural dimensions of the Punjab were being shown earlier. Now it is all char botal vodka, kaam mera roz ka. So the moment it is done, you are glorifying this culture, and glorification of this culture will help in instigating youth in, and this is what exactly is happening in Punjab today. So the Khalistan movement has come to a point of concern that 4 countries who are away from India at any given point of time can trigger the Khalistan issue based on their own self-interest, apart from the local political, socio-religious issues also. So try to understand, Khalistan movement is a concoction of all the problems. So it is not ke ek time pe aisa ho raha hai, ek time pe aisa ho raha hai. So in a way, Khalistan movement has now been what you call designed as a fault line in India. So you can, why? Because it will remain to be a fault line is many or what you call large number of Sikh population are in the police forces, paramilitary forces and also in the armed forces. So if an unrest is created in this population segment, it will have a cascading effect on the internal security of our country. So that is the reason why this Khalistan will continue to remain a fault line in the Indian political entire landscape. Okay? Try to understand, this is the what you call the genesis of the Khalistan problem. If you ask any common man, you know what you call crossing the road, a Sikh person even in Punjab, if you ask him, do you support Khalistan? He will say no. He will say no. Why? Because at the mass level, the integration of Khalistan has already, integration of the Sikh population with India has already happened. We do not want any separate land as of now. So it is only the vested interest, depending on what is happening geopolitically, locally, politically, religiously and socio-culturally, they instigate this problem of Khalistan movement. Okay? Yeah, anybody wants to ask? See, Amritpal Singh will never be accepted as the Masiha. See, I told you emotional intelligence, interpersonal skills, intrapersonal skills. In interpersonal skill, Amritpal Singh has got no charm, because he cannot attract a crowd, he cannot talk much, he cannot talk well. How Jarnail Singh Bhindranwala had the capacity to talk, this fellow does not have. It is basically the frustration of people to support somebody who looks like them, who talks for them, who thinks like them. He may not do anything good for them, but at least the frustration is showing up, okay, we need somebody who will at least talk to us about us. That's the only thing. So it is a very temporary, it has to be very intelligently handled by the government. If you commit the mistake of 84, 85 of using force to control this, then it will backlash very badly. So that is the reason why government is very patiently trying to handle this particular situation, knowing that hands are there from outside as well. Hands are there from outside as well. Okay? Yeah. Anything else from the Khalistan movement? इससे ज़्यादा ज़रूरत आप लोगों को नहीं है, ठीक है? हाँ, इससे ज़्यादा होगा तो you will get involved in Khalistan movement. हाँ. No. See, that's the problem. Once a fault line is created on the religious lines, socio-cultural lines, it is very difficult to go, because the memory of religious subjugation, the memory of religious wrongdoings will take long time to go from the minds of the people. It will take long time, maybe 100 years, 200 years, maybe 300 years. It will, because what happens is, it may become dormant, but it can be reactivated very fast. That's the biggest negative of any religious, what you call insurrected movement. That's the problem. Okay? So even though you feel that I have been able to control this movement, but it is always temporarily. See, if you have to use force, you have to use force like what Sri Lanka did with LTTE, but you cannot do that. Why? Because it has got very bad ramifications. You are even today 20 to 30% of your armed forces is by the people from Punjab, Haryana and the northern belt. If something goes wrong, you remember the Navy mutiny at the time of just before the independence, INA mutiny. So that is how these kind of ramifications would be there. So you have to very carefully handle these kind of situations. Okay? Yeah. Anything else in Khalistan movement? Shall we go ahead with other topics? अरे हाँ या ना? सर एक सांस में आपने खालिस्तान बोला है, दूसरी सांस में करंट अफेयर्स बोलो और घर चलते हैं. पवन अर्थమైందా? కొంచెం కొంచెం. See, don't get carried away. Names are not important. Just try to understand the larger picture. Political vacuum, drug vacuum, socio-cultural vacuum, and the role of international countries also in the continuation of the problem. बस इतना याद रखो. See, Amritpal Singh, Jarnail Singh Bhindranwala, or maybe in future XYZ, they are all pawns in the hands of certain people. The acceptance by the people of these kind of people is coming because these people are being seen as the only Masihas. ठीक है? हाँ. Independent. See, what happens is, over a period of time, see, you have to understand, any religious entity cannot remain apolitical for a longer period. Understand this. You cannot. You try your best. It cannot. It has to have a political master. And historically it has been Akali Dal. Because Akali Dal, all said and done, even though today Aam Aadmi Party is in power, but Aam Aadmi Party also did not do any justice till now. Because at Bargari incident, only one person killed, maybe 10 people are involved. Maybe a particular set of people who have a belief system are involved. They are still evading. Only one person got killed and was killed by a gangster. Goldie Brar killed that Pradeep Singh. Other than that, nothing has been done. It means that first Akali Dal failed, then Congress failed, now Aam Aadmi Party also has failed. So that is how you have to understand. See, at the end of the day, the masses want justice, and it is something like if you remember this guy Dera Sacha Sauda, whenever he is released on bail or parole, he is generally released by Haryana state, because he is in the Haryana on parole. There are agitations in Punjab. It is basically to incite agitation in Punjab, because we know that this guy, and he made one movie where he showcased himself as one of the 10 gurus. People did not accept it, because in Sikhism idolation is not permitted. Idolatry is not permitted in Sikhism. So people vehemently objected somebody portraying himself as Guru Nanak or Guru Gobind. It cannot be done. So you will see any of the Punjabi movies, if at all they have to show any reflection of Guru Nanak or Guru Gobind Singh, they will use some effects only to show. They will not use a living person to show, because we strongly believe, Sikhism believes that no human can ever be a guru, because the 10th Guru had very clearly said that it has to be only Holy Granth. So even in depiction in a movie, it cannot be any role playing by a living individual. So it has to be some animation effect only. So that is the amount of belief that the Sikhs have, that no human can be a guru ever. Okay? Word is guru, not God. Understand, there is a huge difference. The 10 gurus, they do not call themselves as God, they call themselves as gurus only. That is how it is. Guru Nanak is all gurus. We always talk about Akal Purakh. Khalsa Akal Purakh ki Fauj. We are an army of that penultimate God whose nobody has seen. That is how the Holy Granth, first phrase of the Holy Granth says, Ekonkar Satnam Karta Purakh Nirbhor Nirvair Akal Murat. Akal Murat Ajuni 7. Anything is Ajuni means God cannot be born to human. Through a woman, God cannot be born. This is what the belief of Sikhism. Ajuni. means anybody who is born as a human to another woman, he cannot be God, because God cannot be confined to a particular form. Okay? That is what is the basic tenet of Sikhism. Okay? So that is where lot of issues do crop up regularly in the Sikh community. Okay?
And government can diverse the youth for employment.
See, you have to understand, you getting the youth out of the drug culture is not that easy. You coming to class every day, I am still not able to force you to study. Only 40-50 of you, I am not able to force you to study. Despite the fact that you have paid, you are coming daily. Am I able to do that? No. And you are talking about controlling the youth who are used to drug. Matlab expectations are too much. Right? So try to understand. Nahi aayega. See, there is no cut copy solution to this problem. Certain decades of sufferings will have to happen. Then only, that's why these are all wounds. What is the policy of Pakistan? 1,000 cuts. So this is one of the cut. So if it is cut, it will remain as a cut for a long period of time. ठीक है? Try to understand. ठीक है? चलो.